Hello and welcome. This is the first of our Paint Calm on a Friday, and the topic that I have picked is some little houses. I thought that they would just be fairly simple and easy for us to do. The idea has come from this creative abstract watercolour book by Kate Rebecca Leach. And it is a step-by-step that's in here. I won't be doing it exactly the same, I never do, but this is the kind of outcome that we are going to be aiming for. So let's talk about what I am using. I've got a very small piece of watercolour paper. This watercolour paper is, what is it? It is the Milford watercolour paper 300 GSM knot. It was quarter imperial sheets, and I've cut them up into 4, divided each sheet into 4, so that I have got these small pieces that I prefer to work on a lot of the time. So that's my watercolour paper. I'm just using an A5 cutting board, and I have put some washi tape around it. You can use some masking tape. Obviously you can use whatever paper you want, but we are using watercolour, so watercolour paper of some sort would be best. The colours that I've chosen today are Daniel Smith colours. So I have chosen, it'll do it, quinacridone sienna, ultramarine turquoise, and indigo. So those are the 3 colours that I will be using, and I've popped them on my palette. So there's my turquoise, there's my indigo, and there's my quinacridone sienna. And before I got started, I did one of my little colour wheels with these 3 colours, and those are the mixes that I can get if they do bleed into one another. I won't be purposefully trying to get those mixes as such, although I might mix the brown up a little bit maybe. So that will be our indigo and our quinacridone sienna. I've also pulled out some luminance pencils and a couple of Derwent Lightfast pencils. So the luminance pencils that I've pulled out are Moss Green, number 225, Cornelian, number 850. This is called Chrysocolla Blue, and it's number 671. And then in the Derwent Lightfast, I have got Ruby Earth and Denim. So I've pulled those out in case I want those, because there are my coloured pencils, and if I bring that up even higher, you can see they go quite nicely with my colourway. And then I've pulled out 4 neo colours. We've got indigo, we've got turquoise, the orangey colour is actually called flame red, and cobalt blue. So just to ring the changes. The other thing that I will be using is Dr. Martens Bleed Proof White. So we will have that at the ready. I've got my water that's just off to the side there. I've got a little cloth here, and I'm going to be using my Princeton Snap round size 6, because I think that will be small enough for what I want to do. So if you want to follow along with me on this Paint Calm Friday, first of all, we need to just sketch out our houses. So I'm hoping that you can see this quite well. I've started off with 3 quite big houses in the front, and then the houses get a little bit smaller in the middle there, and even smaller still, to give the idea of distance in the back there. So you might want to pause this video and just sketch out. Now you could use a ruler. I didn't use a ruler. I just, what do we call it? Eyeballed it. And I think it gives a more painterly feel than using rulers. But you might like the idea of using a ruler, and you might like those straight lines. So that's all absolutely fine in that case. So you will just need to pause the video, and if you pause it here, you can either copy what I've done, or you can do something similar for yourself. What I've done isn't the same as in the book. I think it's nice to just be a little bit individual. So I'll just hold that there for a tick. You can pause, and then we will move on. So I'm going to make a start. I'm not going to worry too much about windows and things initially, or doors, because I can paint over the top of them, or I can use pencils or crayons. I just want to block in my houses first. So I'm going to start, in fact I'm going to start at the top here and work my way down, or I might kind of go backwards and forwards so that it dries. Let's see how we go. Let's start at the top here. So what colour I'm going to do the roof in my lovely quinacridone sienna, which is a gorgeous colour. And I'm just going to pop that roof in. In fact, maybe I'll do all the roofs first, and that will give everything a chance to dry. I'm thinking as I go along here. So then maybe our next roof, we will use our indigo. Gee, oh gosh, a big sneeze. I think something is starting to irritate me. Something that's growing. Okay, there we go. Can we... There, we'll make that a little bit more pronounced. So there is our indigo roof. And then I think we will make the roof of this next one a mixture of the indigo and the quinacridone sienna. And that gives us quite a nice dark brown colour. So we'll get that little roof in there, like so. And perhaps we'll pop another brown roof in. So we'll pop one here. I'm going to go all over the place, I know I am, but this is fine. And we're not rushing this, we're just taking our time, playing with the colours, and almost it's not exactly paint by numbers, but it's not something that we need to think too much about. So let's get another roof in here. maybe we will put one there. So this is that gorgeous turquoise. There we go. What should we do next? Let's maybe add a bit more of our burnt sienna, quinacridone sienna. Let's have this one. There's a really nice big roof. And maybe we'll do this one as well. And that's come out a slightly different colour because it's got some of the indigo in it. Right. So maybe we will mix, let's mix a little bit of this turquoise with the indigo. Indigo is quite strong, so probably going to need a bit more of the turquoise. And then we can get a slightly different blue. How are we doing on rooftops? Well, we need one here. And doesn't matter, we'll put the same colour here. And you'll notice that mine are wonky, wibbly wobbly wonky. We're just painting calm. Okay, so we've got some rooftops going on now. Making sure that you work with things that are almost dry, although to be fair it really doesn't matter too much. So I'm going to use this turquoise colour, but I want it to be quite light here. And we will get this house in. There we go. There's my first house, and then I don't want to touch that one too much, so I'm going to go to this one next. And let's mix up a bit more the brown colour. There we go. So to get the brown, it's the quinacridone sienna and the indigo. And depending on how much of each you use, you will get a different tone of brown. The more indigo that you use, the cooler the colour will be, and the more quinacridone sienna that you use, the warmer the brown will be. So I think we will also do some of these down here. Now, you can be doing yours however you want to be doing yours. You do not have to do yours exactly like mine. Right, where shall I go next? I'm going to leave that one in the middle for the minute. I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to get a very pale amount of the quinacridone sienna. So it really is quite a pale tone that I'm using. But of course, because we're just using the 3 colours, everything will tie in together. In fact, let's continue that down there. Like so. Okay. So that one's quite pale. Now let's maybe just have a pale indigo. And we can put that one, let's put that one here. I am trying to go round the windows and doors, but I'm not too worried because I'm actually using quite pale colours for the houses. So I will be able to go over them. Right, perhaps we will, let's go with our pale aqua again. And we'll pop that up here, I think. And this time I'm going over the windows because it's too fiddly. So I will find those windows again once it's dry. I think we'll have a brown up here. Perhaps we'll make it a warmer brown. There we go. It's a bit warmer than the one we had down there. So we will pop that in here. And I've gone over the windows again. But because, you know, these are quite transparent colours, I can actually see through, and so it's okay. Right, what colour shall we have here? Let us go for, let's go for the watered down indigo again. Okay, there's a, and you can see it's gradually building up. Right, I think we're dry either side here, and I think we can go for the indigo, but the one that's got a little bit of the turquoise in it. And I'm not bothered about the edges because I'm going to be going around with the bleed proof white, so that's going to be fine. We've also got our coloured pencils that we can use to define edges. But for now, we can just not worry too much. Right. I feel like we probably need more of this turquoisey blue in there. So let's get you in there. Like so, and then maybe we could have a bit more of our quinacridone sienna watered down in here. And if things do bleed a little bit, stay calm. Right, let's fill that in. Like so. And then we've got this kind of wall going on here. So I think let's, in fact, let's go a bit darker. Grab a bit more of the indigo here. And that has started to bleed there, but I'm not going to worry about it. As I said, we're going to be able to define these a little bit more. Now, what colour should we put the... Let's go quite bold with the quinacridone and let them merge in like so. We need that to... There. Okay, so we have the houses in the background. If you're really not liking things bleeding through, then you can get a fairly dry but damp brush, like so, and rectify it. There we are. So let me bring this up a little bit closer for you to see. We did the rooftops, then we've done the main body of the buildings, the houses, but I've done them in quite watered down, fairly muted colours. and we need that to dry so that we can then go in and do windows and doors and lots of embellishing. So back in a tick, you can either pause and use a heat gun or a hairdryer yourself, or you can pause, go make yourself a cup of tea and just wait for it to dry naturally and stay calm that way. Okay, this is dry enough for my purposes. I think I'm going to go down to a much smaller brush. So, okay, this is the Princeton Snap Round 2. This is a size 2, so it's nice and diddy and small. Okay, so starting at the top, I might tilt this a little bit to help me. I'm going to start with the windows in this top one up here. And when it comes to the windows, I think depending on the colour of the house, so if the house is this brown or a brown colour, I'm going to make myself a brown to do the windows with. Okay, so let's start with, this is quite a dark brown that I'm using, more indigo than burnt sienna. And there we've got our little windows, and I think I'll use the same colour for these windows here. This is just so relaxing because it's, I think this stripe here can be the same colour. But I think I'll do those windows at the top, the little circle windows at the top there. If I bring this up, I'm going to do those little circle windows in white. Now I did pull out my Uniball Signo pen, and I'm wondering if that will work or not. So well, it's not a bright white. I'll see if I like it or whether I go to my bleed proof white in a bit, because it's not really showing up, is it? No. Right, I'm going to leave those and I will go over those with the bleed proof white. We've got another little stripy bit here, so we'll get that in there. And I think we will then move on to do some of our windows in the blue. So that little window there. window's a bit darker, but that doesn't matter. Right, which other windows do we want to be blue? Maybe you down here. Okay. Maybe you over here. Actually, maybe we'll do these. And maybe these can be a bit more stripy, almost. Stripy, is that a word? Getting my head in the shot again. It's when I try to do the details and I need to get close. Right. So you don't need to do this painting all in one go. It could be something that is a little project that you do in stages. There we go. Let's make a slightly different brown and do some more of the windows here. And then I think some of the windows we will do as white. So I will leave those. We can see that our picture is gradually building up. Now let's get some doors in. So I think we'll go for a real deep dark indigo here. And as I said, we're going to be tidying things up with pencils, lead proof white. There we go, there's one door, and I think we'll have one door. It's really quite a nice bright orange. Which door? Maybe you. Like that. And then let's have a nice bright turquoise door. So you can be, we haven't got many doors left, but we've got 4 doors left. So perhaps we'll put you here. There we go. I've got 1, 2, 3 little doors left. And I think maybe we will go with, well, let's go with this colour. which appeared on my palette because of all the mixing. Okay, and we can echo that up here. And maybe we'll go back to our darker indigo here. Like so. There we are. So I'll just bring up so far. So this is like a little wall here, and I will put some patterns on that. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to come in with some white so that I can get some details. And I also might use this black waterproof fine liner 0.5 nib, and also some of these. So let's just dry that off now. Okay, so before I do all of that, let me get my size 6 back again. I want to get the sky in, and I'm going to use the indigo with it had just a touch of the turquoise in it. Okay, that's better. We've got our sky in. Going back to my size 2 brush now, and my bleed proof white. So I'm just going to move that a minute. So let's get some bleed proof white. And starting down the bottom here, I want to go around the edge of the door. And maybe give that a little doorknob like so. I'm going to go in here and make that even whiter. And I'm going to go around the edges of these windows. Just at the bottom on these ones, like that. Okay, let's get the edge in here. There. A bit more water needed in my bleed proof white. And there we go, define that So that just really helps to just define things a little bit. And perhaps we'll give a little pattern on that roof like that. There we go, number 1. I've had to start at the bottom because I'm leaving my sky to dry. So let's move on to this next house here. Like that. So hopefully you're getting the idea of what it is that I'm doing. I'm outlining quite a lot, or it will be quite a lot, in white. Okay, let's see if we can get this archway in. And I think what shall we do here? Perhaps we will put some little dots at the top here to decorate it. And perhaps we can have, what should we have here? Perhaps we'll just have some faint lines going down like that. Okay. And let's do lines coming down like that. There. So I think you're, beginning to get the idea. Let's go over here where this wall is. And this house here. There, we've got that little one in. And I think just going round doing this with the bleed proof white really helps. I mean, I guess you could use a white Oscar pen or something if you wanted to. I'm just finding this very relaxing, and I wanted to keep going with my bleed proof white. So let's move over here. I think the colours pop more once you've got the white in there. I'm really liking how this is turning out. Ooh, that's got a bit blobby. But we're doing paint calm, so we're not bothered. Gradually working my way up. And moving further round. And it really isn't about doing it perfect. I mean, sometimes my brush is skipping. I'm not doing more of a dry brush kind of effect. Get the door in there. So we are coming up to the top row. I think we need more water in there now. There we go. Let's make those circles better because the pen didn't work that well. And I think I'm going to leave that one like that. Okay. We'll just go underneath the windows on that one. And these are so small. I think I'm just going to white those out. Okay. So the other ones that need to be white are these ones here. Okay, so let me just bring up what I've done and we will get more pencils and things in. So there we go. We're building our picture up gradually. I'm going to leave that to dry again. And we are back. So now let's have a bit of fun with, now shall we use the black pen in places? I think we will. I think we can maybe go around some of these. Like so. I think that's looking rather nice. And we can get some little bits on the rooftop there. Perhaps with this one we will just do some little zigzags there, and perhaps we'll just do little dots in the white that's surrounding the door. And we could probably go around those. Okay, I think that's given that a little bit more detail, and maybe we could even add some lines on the roof there. Perfect. Now then, what shall we do on this roof? Maybe we will do some stripes like that. And then on this one, perhaps we'll give kind of a ledge underneath the windows there. Do we want to do anything here? Maybe make that more of a line there. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this up so that you can see what I've done on these three houses, just picking out some details with my fine liner. I might not even use any of these crayons today, so we will see. Right, we definitely need to go around that a little bit, and perhaps that one, that doorway, can be going a bit like that. Window wise, let's go around the edge of these. And leave it like that. Roof wise, perhaps we will bring in this, which one was this? Cornelian. So I think I'm just going to do some little bit of shapes like that on that one, and perhaps we can use the cornelian over here. And pop a little bit of colour in there. Oh, I'm getting going with the pencils now. So here, what could we do here? We can do another little bit like that. Let's go back to our I'm going to go just define that at the back there a little bit more, and this one. Sometimes this fine liner is struggling to go over the bleed proof white, but I'm still quite liking the effect that it's giving me. Let's go to our brown, and I think we'll go around the edge of those windows like that. Okay, and maybe here we could use blue to ring the changes. Like so. fact, let's give the blue. And then we'll do something like that. Perfect. Oh, okay. Now then, do I like that left like that? No. Let's get a bit of an edge going on there. Oh, I've gone off the page. Okay, now let's do these windows here. And doorway. And then with our roof. What have we done down here? Let's maybe do something like that. What we got left? This one. And just to give a slightly different effect. In fact, maybe we'll do that on these. Right, I'm going to bring this up. You can see I've just been layering over the top, doing various things there. And yeah, I'm kind of liking how that looks. So I'm actually not going to add any more, but you could keep going and doing more and more and more detail if you wanted to. I am going to peel this off. Which way around do we go? And I think this is really quite effective. And very super calming, and most of us like a house, and you know, it just reminds us of home and feeling safe and warm. So there we have our little houses using this colourway. I do hope that you've enjoyed that. I'm going to sign this. I've really enjoyed doing this. Where can I put my signature? Let's pop my signature. Oh, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Okay. I'll pop it down the side there. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed doing this. I hope that you will have a go and interpret it in your own way. You can't really go wrong. It's just playing with the colours really and having fun. So I think next Friday for our paint calm, we are going to do some, well, they're just going to be blobs in the background that we're going to make into a lovely flower picture. So until next time, and until next Friday, I will wish you all good morning, afternoon, evening. Stay healthy, stay calm, and thank you so much for watching.